Okay, so today I want to go through and go over all the demons that you can find in the lab sample dungeon. Currently, there are only 3. All the way up until wave 50, you will verse the red demon, and when you get towards 51 plus, you then verse the grey demon, which does get a bit, not more challenging, but you have to think a little bit about your team. And then obviously right now we have the new one that came out, last week when the game launched for globally. You have the silver demon, which is, 100 plus. And I assume we might get like the demon Howlex or some other demons when you get towards like, 150 and 200 plus, right? But as it is right now, I think these are the only 3 demons. I mean, maybe there's more, but I don't think anyone's gotten that far yet. All right, so we'll start off with the red demon. Now, obviously, I'm going to absolutely destroy both the red and grey demon because, well, my count has progressed further, so it sometimes doesn't come down towards your team. It comes down towards your dupes and also your stats behind the scenes on your actual account, which will make you clear through faster. But to go over what the boss does a single target skill, or I guess, one target skill. Then he does this here, where he's immune to crowd control, so you can't bind, bleed, paralyze, stun. You can't, stun him basically, right? Stop him from doing stuff. Then we have the special skill, where he does actually start healing. So bringing someone who can infect is what I did early on too, which helped me clear through it, especially when I was, I guess, a little bit under-leveled, right? And then obviously right here, he does burn, which is, I don't think that important. I never had to worry too much about that one. So obviously for the red demon, this is something you obviously want to build up to, where you do actually do a full blue team, since you do obviously have type advantage. So bring King being the best blue buffer in the game, obviously very, very good too. And then what you kind of do then is just fill in the slots with your blue unique characters and blue characters that you can bring. So Deldry, not going to be too bad. Can buff up accuracy, can buff up the blue damage too if King's buff does eventually run out. Mod and Atra are going to be by far probably the 2 best DPSs you can bring, because they just naturally are going to be high unique characters you can get towards high level. Henriksen, I didn't use because when this game first launched, we wasn't able to get 3 copies of him. So for a lot of you lot on global, you don't have access towards him, so you can obviously use that as well. You could use Wilo, because why not? He's a blue tank. But what I will say is, if you do have Draw, definitely use him. I used him instead of Wilo early on because, one, you get that immortality, so it's not too bad even at 1 star or even 0 star. Even if Joe is level 1, he's still going to stay alive for at least like 10 to 15 seconds, right? So he's not too bad. But he's also got this ability which does infect. Once again, the boss is going to be healing, so bringing an infect character is obviously very, very good. So yeah, I do bring him. One character I would bring in was obviously Ren, because she also infects on her ultimate. She is type disadvantage, but once again, unique characters. For me, she actually was the right character to bring, so I did not mind it. I mean, obviously, we're bringing Barn because Barn and King is the best combo in the game. Most of you lot, especially if you are starting right now, should be going into Barn's banner a lot, all the way until the Barn banner actually finishes. I know a lot of people right now are saying for Escanor, but it's a very good chance Escanor won't drop for at least another month, I would say, because I imagine we're going to be getting Merlin and Gopher before that, which those are going to be like 2 weeks apart. So, I think we still have time. I don't know, maybe they drop Escanor tomorrow, who knows, right? But yeah, let's jump in. I mean, obviously, right now, my team is just way over leveled that we're probably going to one-shot it with probably just King alone, right? But once again, you get the gimmick, right? All we're doing is bringing some blue characters, and then right there, he does heal, which we can obviously infect. Yeah, just way too quick there. But yeah, that is basically all you need to know about the actual red demon. Very, very simple boss. It just comes down to infecting a little bit, tanking, and just dealing damage. All right, next thing I want to talk about is the grey demon. Now, this one's a bit more challenging than compared towards the red demon, because the red demon, ideally, all he did was heal. So all you have to do was bring an effect character, where this one does take some time in, and you also have to read what the character does to make it a lot more easier. So he's got the same 2 abilities, that being just a single target skill. Then he also has the immune to, obviously, crowd control, but then he has 2 abilities here, which is very important if you want to clear through it. We have this skill right here, which increases his defense by 20% and also his HP by 25%, making him, harder to kill. This actual frenzy buff is permanent. He doesn't lose it, so you actually have to bring someone, if you want to make it easier for yourself, bring someone who can buff remove. The next skill is going to be a stun, which stuns not everyone on your team, but like basically everyone in the middle. If you are on the far front and far like back, then you will actually not get stunned here. But the stun is very annoying, can and will make you not clear it. So there are some characters and some strategies that you can use here. So let's jump in. All right, so first one is Ren. Now, we're going to completely ignore this for a second because this is very situational, but this is where Ren can be sometimes good without you actually planning. So, obviously, the boss, as we know, can stun the whole team, which can be very, very annoying, right? But then for Ren, for example, when she uses her ultimate, she actually TP behind the boss, you see right now. You see right now, when she used the ultimate, right now, boom, she TP'd behind everyone. And then the boss actually negates his attention towards her, which can sometimes stop the AoEs from going into your team. I mean, obviously not the best situation because it's very situational, but I do know when I was playing this boss, when I was progressing, like how you are right now probably, there were some times where she actually saved me a lot of times. Just one thing I want to throw out there. Okay, so for the Grey Demon, it may look something like this a little bit. The two important characters, in a way, are Hellbrum, actually very important because this is only used in the game, but it does grant all your allies, regardless of the color, stun immunity, which is very, very good. Your ideal you kind of want to do here is use his ultimate around 4 to 6 to where he actually uses that ultimate right before the boss uses that stun attack, and then boom, you're immune to it. The boss always stuns at the start of battle, so there will be at least one time in the raid boss where you do get stunned, but at least hopefully throughout the whole match afterwards, you will not get stunned thanks to Hellbrum. We spoke about before, but the boss does have a buff you ideally want to remove. So bringing someone like Elette, for example, where this one's a bit account dependent. I think you might have to test your account and test her out if she does actually work. But if she does crit on her skill, then she will remove all buffs on the target, which is, I guess, kind of nice. But if you want something a bit more consistent, bring Belly on, for example, where he is type neutral because he is green. He'd be somewhat of a decent DPS, not really do crazy, but hey, you're probably going to get a bit more numbers. And his ultimate, once again, can guarantee buff remove every single time. So, once again, that is also another character you can bring. But at least, you know, for Elette, if you do have her, she is working. She's also going to be very good too because she's buffing up all your reds at your crit damage. So, everyone should be hopefully critting a bit more, dealing more damage. And we did speak about before, but Ren does have spike if she does crit, so she's critting and dealing more crit damage, she's going to do a lot of damage, right? So yeah, that is kind of the team. You bring a tank, it really can be anyone. It could be Wilo, Doggetto, it could be Small Fat at the end, it could be Drool. You just want to bring a tank character. Then you have Ren as a DPS, you have also Kane as a DPS, Bard and King, best combo in the game, why not? Hellbrum for the stun immunity, Elette for the buff removal and crit chance, and then Simon, I unironically did use, but I don't know if he was crazy, right? He's just a red DPS, you can get duped out more than often. Like, if he crits, he gets swiftness. Once again, goes with what we were talking about before about getting more crit chance with Elette. And he never impressed me. Like, he just did extra damage, which is what I needed, right? I will say, if you do have Lost Vein Meliodas, insane DPS. By far the best DPS for this raid boss. Once again, goes really well with the fact that if he starts critting, he could reduce his cooldowns. Yeah, Melee is obviously insane. But yeah, those are all the characters and kind of gimmicks you want to be going for here. We fixed our ultimate order right now. To something like this, for example, let's start the battle. Obviously, we're going to destroy it, but, you know, we'll pay attention a little bit. I probably have myself here so you lot can see. But obviously, what we're looking for is that we do buff remove. So once that goes, then we know, obviously, Elette has critted. And right now, we buff up. So there you go, it's gone. So Elette did crit there. Now we're extorting. Hopefully, right now, we'll see if the boss is able to stun us. We might kill him fast enough, though, because obviously, I'm a bit leveled up here. And he did not even have a chance to stun. So yeah, we are a bit too leveled up here for this raid boss. So yeah, it's kind of the main gimmick of this boss fight is to buff move with Elette or any other character you can bring. And of course, bring Hellbrum to get that, you know, guaranteed stun immunity. So that is the Grey Demon. Now let's move on towards the harder one and the newer one. Then that is the Silver Demon. So first two skills, exact same as the previous bosses. But then he does do more damage for the DPSs, debuffers, and support skills. That is something that you can't really control. He just does do more damage towards those characters. Then also does an AoE bleed, which can be annoying, but the most annoying one, and you'll see it, is apparently when he dodges 3 attacks, he can do a massive AoE skill that knocks targets or your allies backwards and binds them, meaning if they don't have range attacks, they're gonna be stuck there for 2.5 seconds and then need to walk forward to then deal more damage, and by then they may even get knocked back again. So short range targets is not what you want to do for this raid boss, and always as well these stun tanks, which is can be a little annoying. So you want to bring in characters, yellow characters, which I think should be the easiest team to build up a little bit because you naturally get Diane towards a high level, so she can be a bit alright. Obviously, she has very short range, but she's just tanking, I guess. But then again, they are doing a lot of AoE skills, so maybe you don't want to go for a tank, but that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Bon, naturally going to be your best DPS in this raid boss just because he's type advantage, should get towards high dudes. But like I did say, he does actually suffer with the fact that he has got 30 range, so when the boss does do the AoE skills, Bond has to run back and then deal more damage, but at least he's actually giving you, or having a chance to give you more energy, so you can use more ultimates, and also lowering the final damage, so your team can survive naturally anyway. And then what we're doing with Arthur is maybe I'll replace him, but he has got this ability, which is 50 range, lower in defense, nice. It's a bit further, so we can get it off more reliably than other skills. He's also increasing our allies' crit chance, which it means we're just doing more damage with our other characters. And then we have the backline. And these guys on the backline are literally all characters that have 65 range. So, Narabasta, doesn't really matter what she does. This doesn't really work. We do actually get the found accuracy increase, which could be kind of nice, especially if the dodges does correlate towards you missing. Getting more accuracy isn't the worst. But of course, the big thing is that she's 65 range, and in 65 range, so she's doing damage from afar. Same goes for Guildfrost, 65, 65, 65 as well. This doesn't work because you can't slow the boss fight. Also, Gustav doesn't work. His freeze doesn't work. His actual slow doesn't work. But once again, 65 range, 65 range. That's the main thing. Then Arden as well. I think 65 range as well. He's going to be a bit more reliable because he can deal a bit more damage. And also, we have Orlandi, 60 or 40 range actually, a bit lower, but he does heal and give evasion, so I guess it can be nice. But he does heal, which means Diane's second skill work, because you want to bring a healer, so this skill actually works, so you can stay alive and also heal and deal more damage too. Why not, right? So, yeah, that is the team. Once again, comes down to more or less you level up your account, but the ultimate order will look something like this. So, yeah, your ultimate order will look something like this. Arthur buffing up his defense. Then we got Barn, obviously, just doing his buffs and debuffs as well. Then we got the heals from, obviously, Orlandi. Then we got the... I mean, the crit damage, I don't think it's going to matter too much, but... You know, he's doing damage with the ability. He's a DPS character. The absolute defense to nullify one attack could nullify one massive AoE attack, which then means you take less damage. Gustav doesn't work, but once again, damage. Diane, once again, doesn't work, but damage. And then Narabasta, I don't think is relevant. I don't think you can bind a boss. If you do, I don't think it's important. But once again, it could be helpful. So, yeah, let's jump in. You'll see right now what we do. It's literally just comes down to like the last ones where you want to like play around the stun or remove buffs. This guy is simply just bring range attacks. So, you see right now, if we start dodging. So, yeah, so right there, it does a knockback. And then now... the bind does actually stop you from attacking, but at least they're far range now to where they are doing damage. So, like, you see Gustav's all the way at the bottom. Arden's all the way at the bottom. They're still doing damage consistently. And if you look at the damage here, I mean, Barn's still doing the most because he still gets up close. But you can see Arden, and we're just doing more damage to all our characters, even though they're not doing the most. There's just consistent damage that you can do with other characters. Like, Barn, of course, is going to carry through it, but then Arden doing a lot of damage too. Arthur's surprised to do a lot, but even these down here, like, that little bit, like, what's that? Near enough like 100k damage there, just passively. And we look at the damage taken. The bosses didn't even get to attack Arden, didn't get to attack Guildfrost, didn't get to attack Gustav. So they never got binded, so they can constantly keep on doing damage. Because if they were a bit closer, and if you were to bring more actual unique characters that were, you know, close range DPSs or, you know, other characters, then you will actually end up eventually start dying. Okay, so we've watched another ad, so once again, we'll go back in here. We'll do the same thing as last time, and you'll see again that, once again, the range characters from the side just do a lot. Of course, Barn's going to carry, which is ones that everyone should be getting duped out. Especially by the time you get to this point, you would eventually be like, it'll take like, what, a few days? You can do like 5 runs a day, I think it is, or 6 runs a day. So that would take you at least like I think a month before you can get here. But you can see right now, Barn obviously did a lot, Arden did a lot too. And then these other characters, oh wow, they cleared way too fast. Okay, I didn't even get to see it. But yeah, you can see once again, these characters, if you position them right, just don't get targeted. And then Orlandi doing alright healing. So yeah, that is going to wrap up the video. Red Demon, all you want to do is infect the target. For the Grey Demon, you want to buff move while also as well giving yourself stun immunity. And then finally for the actual, you know, Silver Demon, you want to bring more ranged characters and also Barn, because Barn's still insane. So guys, thank you for watching the video, and yeah, peace.